Hi, folks. It's Parvesh Cheena. I play Manish on Mira, Royal Detective, Bodhi on T.O.T.S, Raj on Craig of the Creek, Zulius on Centaurworld, and, of course, I'm Blades from Transformers Rescue Bots. You're watching In Conversation with Amber the Fangirl, ATF.
Hi guys, Amber here. Welcome back to In Conversation with ATF. My guest today is a voice actor best known for being the voice of Blades on Transformers Rescue Bots, Zulius on Centaurworld. He was also Gupta in Outsource, and he's done other voiceover roles as well. This is part 2 because we didn't finish off last time.
I feel so important.
Yeah, you're the second person I've done a part 2 with. The first one was Mike Pollock, the voice of Dr. Eggman, actually.
Oh my goodness.
That was really cool. My guest.
Why did they need a second? Why did they need a part
Mike.
2?
Because I didn't talk about everything with him as well. I thought of some more questions, so I was like, I gotta do it a part 2 as well. My guest, course. Part 2, Parvesh Cheena. Welcome.
Hi, how are you? Nice to see you again.
Right,
I even brought something. I think I'd mentioned it last time. Someone gave me a doll version of Blades.
Yeah.
Pew.
Oh, that is adorable.
And I travel with him. He's always in my to-go bag.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Isn't that fun? It's like my first gift that someone ever gave me I think I've only been to one con. I've only been to BotCon.
Yeah.
Once, maybe twice. I think once for sure in Sandy. Was it twice? Thank you.
Yeah.
So I remember the first time is when we had my first like signing, because I haven't been to cons. I went to San Diego Comic-Con once and that was fun. But this is the first gift I got. And I keep them. I don't know who gave it to me or what their name is, but I do keep this Blades in my, like where you put the pens and pencils in a bag.
Yeah.
Goes in that bag right there.
Oh, cool. Well, if we find out the identity, let me know. Because I will give them a special thanks in the description.
Yeah, that would be really lovely because because it was overwhelming. The first like a lot of actors don't meet people who see them. It's just like maybe at an airport, someone will be like, "Oh, are you the guy from Barbershop?" I'll be like, "Yes, thank you for watching." It's just like you don't have that interaction. I don't like go around. I don't leave my house much. I don't go talk to people. So going to a convention was like, yeah, I like being at home. I'm a homebody now.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, it's fun being at home. All my toys are here.
Yeah.
See, I'm looking at my Phil from Hercules right here.
Oh, cool.
Danny DeVito played him.
Ah, I see. Yeah, the legendary Danny DeVito.
Yeah, and when I was in high school, I did Show Choirs of America, some show choir camp thing at Disney World in Florida, and I got to play him because Hercules had just come out like in 97, 98. Wow. That's when I was in high school. Last century.
That's so cool. That really is cool, though.
Isn't that funny? Like those of us who are in our late 30s, early 40s, we can literally say, we went to high school last century.
I think I left high school only about 2 years ago, so I don't kind of feel old, kind of don't, but at the same time, yeah.
What do they call it? Is it still like uppers?
It's still like, high school over here.
It is high school, and then what class does it go until? 10 or 12?
We do year 12, I think. Well, some do year 13.
It's the same with us here in the States.
Year 13 is equivalent to 12th grade.
Here?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because you call year 1 kindergarten. We call year 1 kindergarten, and then first. And then you guys just kind of year 1.
I think so. No, I think reception is kindergarten, actually. Yeah, I don't know really. Yeah.
But you're closer to that age than I am to mine, so I would hope Amber would know.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna check out for myself. I feel like it.
I know. If only we had this computer Google thing all the time.
Year 1 is kindergarten.
Year 1 is kindergarten. Now that makes sense.
Yes, and reception is pre-kindergarten. Is it kindergarten or kindergarten?
Kindergarten. I think we stole it from the Germans for children's garden.
Children's garden. Yeah. It's not outside though, is it? Kindergarten. It should be outside.
Well, no, not in Chicago. We were definitely indoors in that cold weather.
So, Parvesh, how are you?
Good. I'm good. I'm working. I'm happy. I have family visiting, so there's that. Let me see if you need a little bit more light. I feel like I'm dark on my
No,
end.
you
I
look
don't know if people are
fine.
gonna hear this, watch this, because I'm on my iPad because my computer died, and
You're
I have to
fine.
get.
You're fine, honestly. I
I
can see
spilled
you just
my
fine.
my protein. I had like I take I have smoothies for breakfast, and I
Yeah.
spilled it all over my keyboard yesterday.
Oh no, that reminds me. I
Yep,
spilled nearly a whole bottle of nail polish remover on my computer once.
it's drying. We
I
put
put
a
I
lot
put
of
it
alcohol in it.
I put it in the drying room and it just started working the next day. I'm like, what? Well, it's alcohol because it kind of like
See,
evaporates, doesn't it? Yeah.
yeah, that's right. How's that? Look, I changed. I put the light up. Too
That's
dark.
good. That's
Yay!
good. That's
But
good.
it's
That
always weird because it's noon here in Los Angeles. It's the middle of the day, and you're nighttime there in the UK,
yeah,
correct?
it's about 8:10 at night.
Yeah. So how was Wednesday, April 13th? You're in the future. Tell me what happens today.
I didn't do much today. I had to edit one of my vlogs. The vlog where actually, yes, this is a bit of a spoiler. Well, it's not a spoiler because the vlog will be released before the interview. Oh well. Yeah, I met Kevin Conroy and Wilfred Dell at World's Comic Con, so I just edited the vlog of me meeting them and me doing that convention and stuff like that. There was a lot of voice actors there. I think Robbie Damon was there, Mick Wingate was
I
there.
love Robbie. I
Robbie's so
love
sweet. He
Robbie.
remembered me from Instagram. Yeah.
I love him. He's always so focused on, he was like, I am a voice actor. I like conventions. I like my family. I loved him on Infinity Train.
Aww.
He was very good on that. I think he was the lead season 2, maybe, but I was a big Infinity Train fan.
I see. What did your shirt say? Well,
It says it's an honor
oh no,
just to
just to
be
be
Asian.
Asian by
And
Sandra
we have,
O.
yeah, we have a lot of fundraisers here, and they will use this quote for AAPI. I know this was from East West Players, which is a theater here, longest running theater of color. So we use this because there's been a lot of Asian attacks here in the States from our former president calling the COVID virus of ethnic slurs. So it's just been, we just like to show solidarity. And those of us who are from our parents ethnically are from the Indian subcontinent, we realize Asia is a big continent. And we South Asians, we Indians, Nepalese, Tibetans, Sri Lankans, we are part. But then they also grab us for Middle Eastern, North Africans, South Asian, like Manasa. It's a very complicated thing. I'm just happy to represent everyone. Anyone who needs some help being represented, especially any minority, let alone in the fields of arts and entertainment. It's even just feels like a few years. It doesn't feel like, it feels like a long time ago. And it also feels like just yesterday, Crazy Rich Asians had come out, other stuff. And I'm thinking of a lot of my South Asian friends who are in voiceover stuff, like my best friends, Danny Pudi, Sonal Shah. They're all voiceover actors, as well as their on-camera stuff. But we have really had a joy and fun. I didn't think, our ethnicity, our ethnic backgrounds had nothing to do with whether or not we were an Autobot or Decepticon. We all got to play robots in disguise. And that was a joy because before, it would have mainly gone to Caucasian white actors. So we love this diversity in the voiceover community too.
Yeah, definitely, and also autistic actors as well, because obviously
You're
there's
absolutely
actually
right. Yeah.
yeah.
There's a lot of people on the spectrum working in voiceover and animation behind the scenes too.
Yeah, definitely. That's just reminded me. I actually put in an application. I can't say much
Sure.
because it's very under wraps. But there's a TV show being produced here in the UK, fictional, and they're looking for an autistic girl to be the lead, and I fit the age range. So I put in an application today. See how it goes.
Excellent. Do you have to do anything else? Do you have to give your headshot photo or anything? Or
They just
it's all baby steps right now?
send a video just explaining yourself and your interests and send it to such and such and such.
What you should also do, Amber, is you should probably share some of your links, your interviews and YouTube things.
I
So they
did.
can see just how
I said in the video all about my interviews and stuff, and I put about my channel and stuff like that.
That is going to be a big help. You'll realize this is something that happened kind of when I was in my mid-20s when YouTube kind of broke in the mid 2000s, like it just afforded an opportunity for so many people to be seen. So yes, absolutely share that stuff, because then they'll get to see how you are without like any
Yeah.
pressure of an audition. They'll just get to see how you are living.
Yeah, definitely. Wow. Yeah, I'm excited for it. Yeah. I did say it on a YouTube channel, but I didn't say what it was called. So what I'm gonna do
Sure.
is maybe add to that. I don't know. I'll think about after the
Yeah. If
interview.
they follow up or anything, but if you can send anything, just be like, hey, by the way, I interview actors, so I'm not worried and scared about them. They
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
scare me.
yeah. They don't scare me.
Has anyone scared you? Was anyone mean or rude or
Uh,
weird?
there is one story that happened recently, but I can't say it publicly, so I'll tell you when the cameras aren't rolling.
No, save it for part 3 next year.
Part 3. It depends if we have more stuff to talk about, because this might just be rescue bots again.
There's always something to talk about, Amber.
I guess no voice actors have been rude to me. I guess it's really just been agents. I bet
Oh,
they
bless.
sometimes like
But
that.
they have to be bad cop.
Yeah,
Good cop, bad
that's
cop.
it really, to be fair. Yeah. I would like to ask you, because obviously we didn't get to cover this in the last part, about your time at BotCon. Now in 2013, you went with the whole cast of rescue bots, so that's including Ilan, Imari, Diamond, Maurice, Shannon. Just noticed Lacey wasn't there. Lacey Chabert, no.
I don't know. I think she might have been filming. She's always filming.
And who else was there? David Sobolov, James Horan, who was Wheeljack in Transformers Prime, and Wally Burr, who was the voice director for the original Transformers cartoon. I gotta ask, did you meet Wally at that convention?
No. That's almost 10 years ago. So can I tell you what I do remember? I remember Maurice taking all of us out to an amazing dinner and then paying for it all.
Wow.
Maurice is one of the most generous people you will ever meet. And he doesn't, he won't talk about it, but he is such a foodie too. He's a very good person to go to like meals with. And everyone knows him too. So we'd go to great restaurants with Maurice all over LA. But even in San Diego for BotCon, he was like, we're going to this wonderful restaurant in his Momo voice. So, but like, that is my biggest memory from, but I mean, I told you like how like that first like meeting line and receiving people, that was huge. But my biggest thing is I remember that the entire cast and creatives, Nicole, Brian, we all went to dinner. And I think it was kind of like one of those like Brazilian restaurants where like they even like, they cut the meat for the meat eaters at the table, but for those the vegetarians like me, the salad bar. It was wonderful. It was great. All to be said, like that was such a highlight of that weekend, because in addition to like our work doing the convention, but then I remember that dinner was very special. That just cemented our family.
Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, I've heard Maurice is really lovely. He did Dublin Comic Con with Rob Paulson recently. Alas, I couldn't go because I had a family emergency that weekend.
Okay.
Everything's okay. It's all sorted now.
Good.
But there was something that happened at the convention during Maurice and Rob's panel. I have a friend called Lucy who I think she's autistic. Yeah. She had a Pinky and the Brain plushes with her, and she dropped her brain plush like down the side of the stage into like a gap underneath, and she got really distressed. Maurice and Rob stopped the panel, went to comfort her, asked the backstage people to get it. They got it back for her. Well, like I can't remember. I think it was Maurice did it to Rob, or Rob did it to Maurice, but they added the brain protein and they put it on the shoulders and stuff, and they did the voice and stuff, and they gave it to her, and then they sung the Nations of the World song. And just to see her dance was just
Did she recover okay? Was she touched? I'm glad.
Maurice gave her a hug saying Uncle Mo's here.
See, he is that person. He really is. He is that generous in spirit.
I just want to meet them both like so badly. I did an interview with Rob actually last month. So
for like all the Animaniac stuff and everything.
Yeah, for In Conversation with ATF. So that was really fun. I really want to do one with Maurice. He'd be a hoot to talk to.
Yeah, because Maurice does all of his voices when you talk with him.
Yeah, I love
he just can't help it.
I love them. Yeah. The Brain, Egon Spengler. Who else is there? What's his thingy?
You like Real Ghostbusters?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah. I watched that. I would
Charlie
watch
Burns
that
there.
after school.
Oh. So Maurice was in the original Transformers cartoon as well.
Oh, he must have been just a baby.
Yeah, the most he was in one episode when he played Six Gun in the episode Thief in the Night. He describes the recording session for this episode as the longest session of his life. And yeah, so Maurice read and prepared a lengthy apology for the interview because he kind of like slated Wally. And Wally stood up, being in the crowd, two men shook hands. And to be fair, it was the same day that Casey Kasem walked out and left Transformers because of I think it's something to do. I'm not sure if you know the story about
No, I just know his wife.
Oh yeah.
Jean, she was a blonde. These are like 80s like TV, like like how like the Kardashians are everywhere now. Like I feel like there was like a group of people who would always be on TV, and it was always Jean and Casey Kasem.
Yeah. He left because of the episode's depiction of the highly stereotypical Abdul Fakhadi as dictator of the made-up Arab state called Bomya.
That makes sense. There was a lot of brown.
Yeah, his family is Lebanese Jews. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Departure led to all of his characters being retired as opposed to recast. Teletran 2 replaced Teletran 1 because Casey was Teletran 1. Teletran 2 was voiced by Frank Welker. So yeah, I
love this story. I love Casey Kasem even more now, standing up for his ideals and people of color even before it was fashionable to do so. Luckily, he did have a good day job, the top 40, America's top 40 to do that. But that makes me really respect him a lot more.
Yeah,
not that I didn't, but the memory of the man is just like, it's very nice. Like, no, especially a BIPOC queer actor in this industry, it's nice to know like, oh, people were making stands. And that kind of like, it does hint at what I was saying earlier. Like they can't cast white people in brown or black roles, even in animation anymore, because there's a whole group of people who are not being represented. And I talk about how voice acting is sometimes the hardest acting job to get into. It can be a bit of a club, and they don't let other new people in. So it's been nice to see that change.
There needs to be more autistic voice actors, definitely.
Sure, I think absolutely. Every ableism is rampant as well.
Yeah. And I think Casey stepped down from the role as Shaggy because they refused to make him vegetarian because Casey in real life was a vegetarian.
See, that's strict. I'm okay. I'm mainly plant-based myself, but I mean, like, just the character eats meat.
Here we go. In 1995, he was asked to portray Shaggy in a Burger King commercial. He was not impressed because obviously he was vegetarian, so he left. He was replaced by Billy West in Zombie Island, and then Scott Innes in Alien Invaders, Witches, Ghosts, and Cyber Chase. And then because they decided to make him vegetarian, he returned for What's New Scooby-Doo and all that until Matthew Lillard took over.
That's funny. I mean, like, and even now, I get it, because it's one thing to play Shaggy on in a regular fictionalized thing, but he didn't want to help sell a meat product from the king of burgers.
Have you heard about the auction that they're doing? They're auctioning off a lot of Casey's stuff. His wife is.
No, I did not know.
Yeah,
I haven't been following the auction circuit of late. I do know one big auction coming up is the auction of Betty White's estate on September 22nd through 25th. I don't know why I know those dates, but apparently I do.
Yeah, there's a lot of people going recently. Betty White, Norman MacDonald, Louis Anderson, Bob Saget. Freaking Gilbert Gottfried. He died yesterday.
The voice of Iago. They just dedicated on Broadway, that they dedicated last night's performance to him. But he was, before anyone knew of his like adult humor and his stand-up, we all knew him as Iago.
Yeah.
It's Iago, right? That's a iconic performance that no one will ever forget.
Exactly, yeah. And I know him as such and such, the voice of God in Smiling Friends. I think that was his last voiceover role before he died.
Wow.
Yeah, bless him. Yeah, he did a podcast as well.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, I
It's
nearly got.
very
I had slight plans to get on that podcast because I spoke to his co-host, and we were perhaps maybe going to arrange something for me to promote like my Bill Scott documentary and stuff like that. Never happened,
well.
and I
I'm
didn't know he was
sorry.
in such ill health. It's okay.
Neither did I. Honestly, it's one of those things where like you don't know until sadly they're gone.
Yeah, it's very sad indeed. Yeah, bless him.
It feels that way. I think also deaths of late have been hitting hard. I think because of COVID. These last few years that we've been in, we're like, you survived COVID to only die of like a different illness, or in Bob's case, that the head injury. It's just very. I've even been feeling it. Like, whoa, a lot of the people. I mean, like Louis Anderson had a cartoon, Life with
Life with
Louis. I
Louis. Yeah,
remember.
Debbie Derryberry was
Yeah.
on it.
See, so like how
Yeah.
everyone does every voice everywhere, but
Yeah,
like
think
I
she wrote
remember
it
that
once before, yeah.
cartoon. And then Bob's everyone, like it's so funny like how like they'll have their adult life, but everyone has like their children and family career too, where they do voiceover. Bob Saget hosts America's Funniest Home
Yeah,
I mean, like
Andy
Full
was in
House,
Full
like
House.
right. So
Yeah,
it's such
Danny
a
Tanner in
it's
Full
I
House.
forget that people of all ages, are feeling these losses.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think the Gilbert one hit hard for me because, like, I know him from like Problem Child, Aladdin, Digit from Cyber Chase. Who else? Obviously, God in Smiling Friends. Who else was it? His cameos, his absurdly rude cameos where he would swear and stuff like that. People would just send him just the
Sure.
most vulgar requests, and he'd read them and stuff. And yeah, I remember one of them was like someone just sent him words, Simba's shit pit, and he made up a whole video improvising that on the spot, and it was just beautiful. Like you think of celebrities, they turn down them for the simple requests. Like I know a voice actress who turned down a cameo because of a simple request. Obviously I don't really, because it's probably weird, I don't really want to relate. Okay, basically they asked her to fart IRL on the cameo, so she didn't, and then they badly complained. So, but then Gilbert Gottfried would talk about pissing and shitting.
Yeah, it's just a different. People are different.
Yeah,
I found that like I have no need to push, fight. If someone doesn't want to do something because it's their comedy or their brand, it's just that someone doesn't feel comfortable, they're not going to do it. I don't see why they have to complain about it. There's also that gotcha kind of thing. Haha, I made someone who's normally a wholesome person say a swear.
Yeah. Did you ever meet
and
Gilbert?
versus Gilbert Gottfried, who is a fool and a clown and is known for that. It's a different thing.
Yeah. Did you meet him by any chance?
Briefly, there was some Comedy Central event, but it was just like I was just attending because I used to babysit and tutor for the president of Comedy Central. I used to joke he was like my rich white American family. If I ever got into trouble, I was going to call them. And
so you babysat his kids?
Yeah, and tutored. That was like my day job. And they would invite us to like even after like I got more of my on camera and just acting work, they would invite us to Comedy Central stuff all the time. So we got to go to a lot of like laugh tapings and everything. So we saw a lot of any like comic, you've at least seen them or been in like a green room or waiting room with them. But you also don't want to bother them, and I didn't want to get made fun of too. So I'm like, you just like look from afar and like, don't make fun of me.
Was the president of Comedy Central Kent Alterman at the time you and about?
No.
Oh, was it not him? Who was it?
Doug Herzog.
Doug Herzog. Found him.
Yeah.
There we go. Ah, right, I see. Yeah, I'm trying to find it.
Google is children. A wonderful thing.
It doesn't say. It says he has no children.
I'm fine. Maybe I hope. Hopefully they took it off.
Yeah,
I remember his kids would mess with his Wikipedia all the time.
Oh, yeah. How many kids does he have?
I don't know if I want to feel comfortable telling all the details of Doug's family life.
All right. Okay. Say that for off camera.
Thank you. Right. That's fair. They're adults now.
Yeah. I love it. Oh, wow. That makes me feel old because I turned 18 in February. I was 17 when we last spoke, and now I'm 18. I'm like, boy.
Happy belated.
Thank you. It was a big, sweet 18th birthday. I had lots of alcohol to drink, and I partied my socks off. Yeah, I can legally drink now here. Yay.
Have fun. And then quit booze in a few years. It's not worth it.
And go into a big hole of depression, probably. Yeah.
No,
Nah,
just stick
no,
to
no.
cannabis. What? Nothing.
I've never taken drugs. I've never smoked. I've only taken alcohol.
Alcohol is a drug.
Wow, this went downhill very fast, didn't it?
Not at all. We're having adult conversation.
It's in conversation. It's in the name of the title.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's so interesting also, like, yeah, the drinking age is different here, 21. And I think that I would always just, I think my relatives in Canada, London, and India were not as rebellious as we were because of the higher drinking age. That's why we have all these, my opinion, why we have some of the like drinking issues on college campuses is because it's like, it's forbidden. Kids want to rebel. They want to do what's not. If it was legal at 18, like you guys, I don't think we'd have as many problems because it would just be like oh, okay, we can drink this wine now. Okay, no big deal. Versus like you have to wait till 21. It becomes this horrible culture here.
Yeah.
My opinion. I just feel like it's not a healthy relationship yet.
No, not at all. I think the driving age is different as well. It's 18 over here, whereas it's 16 or 17 in America, if I'm correct.
It depends on each state too. That's the thing. Like you can drive at 16, but you can't drive at night, or you can't drive with other under 18 or 21-year-olds. It's all these different rules depending on state. We don't have it nationwide. I think it should be 18 too. I started driving at 16. I got so many like speeding tickets. I ran stop signs because I was a child who should not have been driving at that age.
You make
even
mistakes.
At 17 or 18.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I wanted to speed. Car was freedom. Car, you could like go to the comic book store on your own. You didn't have to ask your dad to take you to Graham Cracker Comics.
Yeah. So I was trying to just.
But I do remember like, that is funny, like how like things are so different. We're so similar, and yet things are so minutely different.
Exactly. Yeah. It's
right?
just a matter of living across the pond from each other, really.
Do you say that we drive on the wrong side of the road, or do you think that you folks drive on the
There
wrong
is no
side?
wrong side of the road, only in their respective countries. So on the right here, it's the wrong side.
Amber, brilliant diplomatic answer.
There is no wrong side.
That's a good one. I like it.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, and there's no wrong sort type of words like you say sidewalk, we say pavement. There's no that's wrong. Yeah. There's no wrong. It's right in your respective country.
Freeway, highway,
motorway,
tollway. What do you say?
Motorway.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else is there? I know we say rubbish. You say garbage.
Yeah, and then the favorite color. You guys add the U.
Yes.
COLOUR.
Yeah.
FAVOURITE.
Yeah. We call them aubergines. You call them eggplants.
Yeah, we never call them aubergines here. It's just eggplant, and it's just the silliest word because it looks nothing like an egg.
What's even funny
nothing
is like
eggish about it.
The spelling for donut in England is like DOUGHNUT, but in America it's DONUT. I spell it the American way all the time. It's just
because we are lazy and we like to cut corners and write it as that's. Think about it. Why did we drop the U and everything? Oh, it's faster. FAVOR.
Yeah, it's easier for me though. Like I spell color with the U, but not donut. No.
And favorite?
Favorite, yes, I do spell it with the U, yeah.
And how do you say the word SCHEDULE?
Say that again.
SCHEDULE, like your calendar.
Schedule.
But it's also, so you do say because I've heard schedule.
Schedule.
I've heard schedule versus schedule.
Schedule. I don't
know.
That
could be Indian. I'm mixing my British Indians and my Indian Indians and my Indian Americans and my Indian Canadians.
Yeah.
All mixed.
Yeah, I say schedule. Yeah, I know people say schedule, but I just believed it was an American way of saying it.
There could also be a part where things are just like becoming one with TV and film. I forget like how many people in England watched Friends, for example.
It always gets reruns on Comedy Central. All the time.
Right. And I remember it was huge during the original run too. But I'm like, it's just funny, like, oh yeah, that you guys like Friends too. We didn't watch Coupling or anything. We didn't watch that British show. I think our British show was the British Office.
Yeah. I remember going to a charity shop and like the first thing I saw was like 10 VHS tapes of Friends.
Yeah.
Like just one after the other. It was like 3 episodes on one tape or something along those lines.
I think I
Yeah.
have them on DVD.
I don't have any of them on DVD because I just catch the reruns on TV sometimes.
Yeah, and now they're streaming everywhere now too.
Yeah. I think it's on Netflix. It's on Netflix. I don't know.
That all changes too. Some things that are on like HBO Max here are on Netflix in another country. You know, like even like RuPaul's Drag Race is on VH1 here, but it's on Wow Presents Plus or Netflix in other countries. So different.
Yeah, it is definitely. I'd like to talk to you about the second BotCon in 2014. Now, this had a stellar cast. Obviously, it had the Rescue Bots cast, but it also had Jack Angel, recently departed only a few months ago. Susan Blue, David Kay, Morgan Lofton, Michael McConaughey, Samantha Newark, and Hal Rail. May I ask, did you meet any of those, especially Jack Angel?
I think I did a reading, like, you know, where they had like a reading of a script, and I worked with some other. I remember reading with some people who I didn't know, you know, because this is also at the beginning of my voiceover career, so I didn't know a lot of the old timers, the vets at that place. At this point, you know, I do talk to Pete. I think Pete Sinclair, who runs BotCon.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I'm just reading something.
No, not at all.
Hold on. BotCon 2014 script read. I think it's on
yeah,
Daily Motion. It is. Found it.
But I still do talk to Pete, so that's fun. He's like a Snapchat friend and everything.
Oh, cool. Who is it? It was with Samantha, you, Morgan, Michael, Hal, Jack, and Susan.
That was it. I remember Susan was incredible.
Did do it with Jack.
I did. But I remember Susan I think I sat next to Susan. She was kindest to me. And, you know, I think she was even
her
honored.
And Samantha. I'm arranging one with Hal. I think one with Michael, possibly. I don't know. Maybe.
Because I remember she was honored that year. Or maybe.
Wait,
right?
I don't know. I know she was honored at HasCon in 2017.
I believe it. Yeah, I think it's something like that. But I do remember, like, she was being honored, and it was just like, oh, there's a lot to learn in this industry.
Is there anything on this page to do with the Hall of Fame? BotCon 2014 Hall of Fame. I have to check. Oh, it was RC, her character.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Stan Bush was the only human inducted. Yeah. Yeah, it's fun. You got the touch. You got the power. Yeah, I'm Darble Singer. I'm sorry. Yeah, but hey, I'd like to also bring up. I remember talking to you about this on Twitter, and I thought I'd just bring it up again because I love causing drama. No, that don't. You were in Sia's film Music, and obviously it is not appreciated by the autistic.
Sure.
Autistic.
That was I'll tell you the thing, because a lot of people apparently get mad at me about this.
Yeah, I presume.
I had just joined my new management. They're like, do you want to be the boss in a scene opposite Kate Hudson, in a movie directed by Sia? There's no script. And I'm like, yeah, sure. Kate Hudson wasn't there. She didn't show up. So they just shot me just doing like, you're fired. You're fired. I haven't seen the film. I didn't know anything other than Sia was lovely. And I was there for like 2 hours in downtown LA. That's it. I'm very apologetic for any of the people who were offended and her not doing her due diligence and her work in it and everything. But it is unfortunate.
You're fine.
But
You didn't know.
and everything. Oh yeah. But it is just like, it is very unfortunate because I just
he's in the film. He supports ableist people.
I just don't think Sia was malicious in anything she was doing. But again, I was there for 2 hours. That's all.
Yeah, a lot of people just jump and say, "Oh my god, he was in that film. That means he hates autistic people." I'm like,
no, my brother's on the spectrum, so that would be very unbecoming.
Yes. Big love to your brother, by the way.
Yeah, he's visiting here with mom too.
Oh, is he? Oh,
Hmm?
bless him. Younger or older?
He's older.
Ah, older. I see. I've got a younger brother who's autistic, so yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my parents have kind of had autism, the knowledge for about 15 years because I've had it since I've been diagnosed since I was 4. So
Wow. Well, at
yeah.
least they caught it early too, because some people like this is the 70s, but my brother is much older than me, so it was a different time. And also with the ethnic immigrant thing, so it was just like a very, very trying and tough time. They did not have the resources that I believe that they do now, let alone in this century for people.
Yeah, of course. I mean, even when I was
Hmm.
diagnosed back then, not a lot of people had a clue what autism was. I was just treated like a naughty child. It's not like, oh yeah, I
Right.
wasn't diagnosed or anything. I sort of they knew I was autistic. Everyone, the teachers knew I was autistic. The professional was autistic, but obviously they just treated me
Right.
like a naughty child. It's not like, oh yeah, I wasn't even diagnosed and they just assumed it. No, it's crazy, honestly. Yeah,
Very different. Yeah.
I was like,
Everything is
hell.
changing. I do get a little nervous, like with the populist shifts and people using trans kids' health as a political thing, bludgeon and weapon right now. But I do hope that the mental health growth that we have done in our respective countries, the whole world, that won't come backwards. That won't go back. But I'm very nervous for health afforded to everyone. I'm worried about bullying
I was
that's
bullied.
prevalent. Yeah, I believe it because anyone that's different and not the norm does.
Is rejected by
And I think,
society.
yeah, and it makes me feel very depressed about society in general. Like the go-to, and I'm guilty of it. I was a child. I was a young adult. I was in my 30s where I feel like it was only when I turned 40 when I really started to be like, you don't have to be this way. Things can be different. The comedy of cruelty and like the insult comics and everything, they exist. They're not going anywhere. It's just maybe not for me as much anymore. You know how there's a lot of talk about like, oh, cancel culture. Oh, I can't tell my jokes. I can't. I'm like, oh, can't you be funnier? Can you be funny without it being at the expense of who people are? I like making fun of people for what they do, but not who they are. Like I like to make fun of Caitlyn Jenner because I think she's a horrible publicity person who is damaging and cares more about being on like the cover of stuff than actually helping trans youth. For example, but I don't need to make fun of her for being trans. There are other things to make fun of this publicity whore for.
Yeah.
That's the difference where I see it. Like, but where I do get depressed is where bullying stems from. You can't talk about what you've done. So a bully will always resort to what their victim can't change. You're fat, you're autistic, you're special needs, you're blah 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 color, right? No one can change that. So a bully knows that the only weapon they have is to make fun of someone for who they are, not what they do.
That's such a
And
heartfelt
anytime you
message.
realize, and when you realize that, then you have to realize like, oh, you have nothing else to say to me other than to make fun of my blonde hair or my beard or me being short, right? I take solace in that knowing like, okay, we are not even going to have a discussion or conversation. So there's nothing I need to give back to you other than hopefully you find the love that's clearly missing. You know, I always think about that with the bullying element. Like I think of the parents with this, there has to be a win. Someone has to win over someone else. I feel better when I make fun of someone else because I had a bad day. I'm getting harassed or hurt at home by like my parent or a loved one or someone else. So I'm going to take it out on someone else who I perceive I can make fun of. We see this cycle. It's just sad. And I hope that one day we get past this. I don't
I
know
hope
the
so
answer,
too.
but yeah, I have no answer, but it is very interesting. I think that, and why I think some people are getting worried, like comics, actors, everything, like, well, no, but why can't I tell my joke? Why can't I'm like, people are just standing up for themselves. People are speaking up. That we used to make fun of special needs people. We used to make fun of gay and queer people of and trans people for years. Even in the gay community, would make fun of like trans people. Like we didn't have that solidarity. So we're just getting better. And I feel if comics are feeling like it's a hard time out there right now, I'm like, it's just an adjustment. Remember, like when white comics couldn't just make fun of black people anymore for just being black? That was probably an adjustment for them too, in the good way. So this is another one where it's like, we're just doing it better, you know, make fun of people for what they do and say, not for who they are. That's how I feel. That's why you can always make fun of like a Trump or Boris Johnson, because I don't agree with their policies. I don't agree with Rishi Sunak. You know, I call this some British politics. Like, where's your wife's money? Where's your money? Why aren't you paying your taxes in either country? So like that, but nothing to do with him being Indian. Nothing to do with Boris Johnson's silly, ridiculous mop of hair. We could make fun of him for that ridiculous, like Trumpy wig or something that he has. But why? That would be cruel. Let's just make fun of him for being a horrible prime minister.
Yeah.
I don't like Boris Johnson.
I'm not on any political side. I don't do politics. I'm just me. I just sit on the fence.
No, I am very political because you have to be. Like, I feel like you can't be brown and queer, at least in America, and not be by just existing in my industry is, people have told me, is political.
Yeah.
They're like, you shouldn't be here. You shouldn't have these parts. I'm like, why? Why not? I'm here. Surprise! Spoiler alert. There are more of us coming up in acting schools, you know. So
Indeed.
I do, and I only bring up politics because it does affect, especially queer folks and everything. There are too many laws and legislation being made and rights being taken away, especially in our states, for trans kids. It's like the new gay. I mean, like, literally, cis gays are in a better place today than they were ever, but trans folks of all ages and all colors, but specifically youth, are at risk more than they've ever been.
Yeah.
Because there's more awareness. So now they're actually legislating against them. It's very troubling. Very troubling.
Yeah.
Let's talk about robots.
Let's talk about
Let's
robots.
go.
Indeed.
I got about 10 more minutes before I have to go to my next audition.
Oh, that's okay. Actually, I'd like to bring up your role in Mira Royal Detective. Or is it Mira?
I love Mira.
Mira. I keep saying it's Myra. I'm so sorry.
It's just the thing of, like, you know, when you see an I or an E. And also the name Mira can be spelled Meera as well as Mira.
Yeah.
It's one of those, like, Nina spelled, my mom's Nina, but she's Neena, but then there's Nina Nina. So it's just one of those, like, favorites. Favorite with a U or with an O.
Yeah.
Mira.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Mira was lovely. Lovely show.
Yeah, definitely. I think my final question to you is going to be, how does it feel to portray a character who is like just like you? Like, I believe your family's from India, if I'm correct.
They
India,
were born and raised there, and then I was first generation born in the States.
Okay. So what was it like to portray a character that's just like you, like ethical wise?
The dream, because we didn't have to. First of all, like, I'm so grateful because we have been working, so many of us, but to get like a bunch of your friends all together, like everyone, you know, everyone like at least did one episode. So many actor friends of notoriety, like at least did one or two guests versus like some of us who got to recur a lot, let alone the series regulars. So it was just lovely to be a part where like there was such care taken from Sasha Palladino, our showrunner, Becca Topol, to just like writers like Geetika Lizardi, who I've known since Outsourced. Geetika's writing on Bridgerton right now, and like she wrote on Mira, like Amrita Vaz, Jeannie, who was our, you know, music. It's just, there was such care and sensitivity, and we don't get this a lot anymore in like TV and film, but the dramaturgy, the people who research, you know, before Google, they're the ones who would like present you with a packet of like this time period or anything. So that was great. We also didn't have to like push any accents. We just got to be ourselves. You know, we didn't have to add a specific Indian accent on top of it. They're like, no, you are of Indian ethnicity. This is your accent.
Yeah.
We want that kind of. Some people who were born in India or England, if they guessed it, they had their natural accent. But for those of us, we were just grateful to play it. And then we've heard from so many friends with kids, like friends with kids, actors whose kids were on it, like Rizwan Manji and his children were all on like different, I think Eid episodes, different Muslim holiday ones. So we were just touched. We were grateful. We had this night. I know it's ending. They're gonna finish, I think,
Oh,
with
it's
like a series
ending.
of it is.
Oh
They're gonna be
no.
finishing with 4 like movies, 4 like mini movies, like mini Bollywood kind of musicals. And so we're very grateful. And it was just another one where we got to sing. It was just fun to like sing on there's so much music and animation now. I feel like it's more and more, or maybe the work I'm doing is more and more. Because the first time I sang on cartoon was on the musical episode of Rescue
Rescue
Bots.
bots, yeah, because they're all stuck in
Like,
song, I think. To
yeah,
hear Optimus Prime sing would be a dream. Peter Cullen, can you make
yeah.
that happen?
But
I miss
everyone,
him.
like, I remember like Lacey's got a great voice, Diamond. I mean, like, they're
Diamond's a
singers.
singer
Like,
now, yeah.
yeah. But Lacey was also like, Lacey was like little Cosette on Broadway. She's a little musical gal
Yeah,
herself.
yeah, and also Peter Cullen. I know he wasn't in the episode. What was this? What was
No,
the episode called? Singing
I remember like
episode.
the bots are singing. Do you have it? I
I
feel like your
I
Google
have heard
skills are
the
better
bots
than mine.
singing.
Yes,
Yeah,
that
if you
was
call it
it.
him, Peter Cullen sing. I'm meeting him in Edinburgh this October, and I am excited. Oh, High
What
Tide is
kind?
in this episode.
Ask him what kind of car he's driving now.
Okay, I will do. Apparently High Tide is
I
in this episode. Does he sing? I don't know.
don't remember. I
Michael
do
Bell,
remember Peter
he's
Cullen
great.
had like the best car ever.
Yeah, I wonder what he'll drive. Yeah, he's 80 now, isn't he? I don't know if he still drives or not, We'll just
Oh
have
yeah,
to.
maybe he doesn't need it. Maybe he just has a drive, or maybe he
Yeah,
just has a very good Uber account.
most likely, yeah. And I found this. Look at this. There's you and Shannon in the background. There's
Yeah,
Jason in the speed
totally.
yeah.
I remember
It's the
that
high time.
because because people know Jason, so Jason can get away with it. I
I know
think he and Peter
Jason.
had
I know
worked
his
together.
son. He once played
Yeah,
Fortnite together.
see, so like Jake
Yeah,
Mars
Clark.
knows people, so he just goes up to them,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and yeah, Shannon and I are like, "We're Neo. This is our first voiceover. You're Optimus Prime," and he was like, he's like, "I get it. I was your childhood. Yeah, happens to me."
Yeah.
He didn't record with us. I never recorded with him.
I know you said last time.
Yeah.
So good.
It was just kind of like, but I just thought like, oh, maybe like the guest stars don't have to.
If Transformers
they-
Prime can record ensemble, then why can't Rescue Bots?
Hey, well, we did. The rest of us did.
Well, I
We
mean,
all recorded
like,
together.
with like
They only
Optimus.
separated us at the end because we were too chatty. Ginny
Uh,
McSwain, who I still email with. I love her. Ginny would say
I
like, "Nah,
haven't
you
spoken to her in a
guys have,
while.
yeah, you guys have had 3 years. Nope, you guys are taking too long now." So she split us up, bots and humans. And sometimes I don't want to just be with the humans. Amari he was rustling his pages all the time. Oh, Parvesh, is it your turn to record? That's Amari. I love Amari.
I miss him dearly. Aw. So, Parvesh.
Yes.
Parvesh, where can we find you on
Yes.
social media?
At Parvesh on Twitter, but that's where I'm very like angry and political, so just be warned. Or at Parvy on Instagram, where it's more like dog photos and like watch me in this, and it's all self-promotion and marketing. And also it's become a little political. You just can't be. We just gotta watch out for these people coming up. There's a lot of nationalism and populism. See, I keep going back to politics, Amber. Everybody vote progressive.
It all links back to politics. Oh, there we go. Sorry about that. So, with that, we will bid you all goodbye. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay happy, be yourself. Thank you for watching me, Blades, and Parvesh again. All right. Thank you for watching. Oh, where's my clapboard? And we'll see you around. Bye.
Ready? And
cut.